Most Airbnb hosts are losing time and money every single week, and they don't even realize it because they're manually messaging guests, fixing calendar issues, and reacting instead of automating. I'm going to show you exactly the property management system I recommend to most of my clients, what it actually does in the real world, and whether it's worth your setup. I've worked with hundreds of short-term rental operators, from single property hosts to multi-unit portfolios, and the number one operational question I get is, what software should I use to automate my Airbnb business? Because at some point you hit a ceiling, you miss messages, you risk double bookings, or you just burn out. That's where a PMS comes in. Hospitable is a property management system that handles your guest messaging, calendar syncing, review automation, and basic task coordination all in one place. But here's what most reviews won't tell you. It's not about features, it's about what actually saves you time and protects your reviews. All right, so let's jump into the dashboard. When you log in, this is what you see. Clean, not overwhelming. That's actually one of the reasons I like it. First, the inbox. This is a unified inbox, pulling messages from Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com. So instead of jumping between platforms, everything sits here in one thread. Next, the calendar. This is where Hospitable quietly does one of the most important jobs, syncing your availability across platforms. That's what prevents double bookings, which is one of the biggest operational risks in this business. Then you've got the properties tab. This is where your listings are connected and managed. See this right there? This is where most hosts think it's going to get complicated. But honestly, you set it up once. After that, it just runs. This is the reason most people use Hospitable, and the reason I recommend it. Message automation. Let me show you a simple example. The guest books, automatic confirmation message happens, then 3 days before check-in, another message is sent, and all that runs automatically. You can also use variables like guest name, property name, check-in, even smart lock codes. It's integrated, it autofills everything. Now here's why this actually matters for your revenue. Every message you forget to send creates uncertainty for the guest. Uncertainty is what turns a 5-star experience into a 4-star review. If you're doing this manually, you're not just wasting time, you're increasing risk. With automation, you're consistent every single time. Let's talk about price. Hospitable is priced per property, and it scales depending on how many listings you have. Roughly speaking, you're looking at something in the range of starter plan, which is good for 1 to 2 properties, and professional plans. You're looking at something in the range of $29 to start with, and then it scales after that based on a per listing basis. And so this software is actually designed to help you save time, and if that saves you 2 to 3 hours a week, it's a pretty good compromise to make for the cost. If you want to think about it in revenue terms, you only need a handful of extra booked nights per year, or slightly better reviews to break even. So who's this for? Hospitable is basically for smaller sized hosts at this time. I think they are making their platform more robust in many respects, but they are very user-friendly, and I'll say portfolios of 1 to 10 properties is the perfect size for Hospitable, especially if you are a host that owns the properties and runs your own properties. It's very strong for that purpose. Who it's not for? It's not really for large enterprise businesses and customers. If you're running a large operation with owners, trust accounting, and complex reporting, this isn't built for that. You're looking more at something like Guesty in that case. Let's break this down honestly. What Hospitable does really well: best-in-class messaging automation, clean, simple interface, fast to learn, it's really easy to learn, reliable multi-channel inbox, strong integrations, including smart locks and dynamic pricing tools like Price Labs. Where it falls short, no full native dynamic pricing. You need an external tool for that, that's fine. I always recommend Price Labs anyway. And limited owner reporting and financial features, although you can customize reports in there, and it's very good if you are actually a co-host. It has features which allows you to split out your profile. You can have your own profile and then manage many different hosts under one profile. Task management is basic, not ideal for large teams, and the mobile experience is improving, but still not as strong as desktop. Another thing is that they just migrated over to VRBO full integration, which works well. Prior to that, they were putting together a integration or connection to VRBO, which was Chrome, based on the Chrome browser, which actually was very clunky. But now this full integration with VRBO makes things much smoother. So if you need enterprise level operations, this is not your tool, but for 70-80% of hosts I work with, those limitations don't actually matter. Here's how I position it quickly. Hospitable is best for 1 to 10 properties. It's automation first type of platform. Guesty is built for larger operators, more complex, more expensive. There is a Guesty Lite, of course, but I don't really find Guesty Lite to be as good as Hospitable. Hostfully is somewhere in the middle, and they're strong with guidebooks and also good for mid-sized portfolios. So this isn't about which tool is best overall, it's about which one fits the stage that you're at. So here's my honest take. If you're managing a small portfolio and still handling messaging manually, Hospitable is probably the fastest return on investment you'll get from any tool. It reduces workload, improves consistency, and protects your revenue, which directly impacts your revenue and reviews. So it reduces workload, improves consistency, and protects your reviews, which directly impact your revenue. I've added a link below if you want to try it. It supports the channel at no extra cost to you, and you can get a free trial without credit card and cancel at any time. But here's the thing with Hospitable that I like most. It has an MCP server connection that you can connect straight to Claude, and you can use that to get a lot of data and actually perform some actions in the property management system, which will make your work a lot lighter. It will help you. You can automate reports and that kind of thing. And so that is the biggest draw for me, that they've integrated MCP server, which means that you can apply agentic AI to it. I also like the fact that with the mobile plan, you can fully automate the guest communication. And it's not just a guest communication that is very stiff. You can create a knowledge base. And with that knowledge base, you can have a very robust pool of information that AI can use to answer almost any query and help you to hand off any tasks that need to be completed, or any issues that the guests might have can be automated in terms of sending the right person on your team that information at the right time. Also, there's a feature in here that I really like. It's called like custom code, where in the messaging module, you can create a custom instruction where, for example, you have a orphan night somewhere. You can, when there's a condition that there's often orphan night, send a message to the guest who's staying just before that orphan night and invite them to stay an extra night at a lower cost. And so you can set that up in your messaging rules, and it's easy to do. You can do the same thing with the person who's arriving the day after the orphan night, also offer them one night extra stay at a lower cost. This is perfect for properties that don't want to allow one night stays because of their operational restrictions and just their business model, but want to plug gaps in their calendar and can automate that whole process by having this feature. So all in all, I would highly recommend Hospitable. It is the property management system for property owners and hosts that are managing smaller portfolios. And I think that with the leaps and bounds of this property they've started, even a community which is very robust within the platform that you can join and learn from other users, this platform is going to grow even further and probably will be able to grow with you, as they have been adding a lot of features very rapidly. And I think it will be pretty soon a platform that medium scale operators can start looking to as well. So yeah, our recommendation is Hospitable. If you are interested in a free trial with 25% off for the first 3 months, then there's a link in the description below and you can test it out for yourself. You can also reach out to us and we will give you tips and also help you to set it up for free. So yeah, so like to hear from you. If you have any questions, let us know. I'm David Scott from STR Booster, and we help hosts make more money from their properties and delight their guests.